the next day topic, that is Ansible day 13 topic, day 13 session. So in the last session, like we had covered about the hash loops. So with that, we concluded the end of our Ansible loops, right? So all those three looping, like simple loop, nested, and the hash loop, we are covered with examples, right? So now, and also like we had covered about the conditions also, like we had covered about the conditions. So where I explained about these conditions also, like these are the conditions, and whenever you want to use the condition statement, you have to always use when, right? Now, in this example, like whenever I executed this when condition is checking whether the Ansible underscore distribution is equal to Ubuntu. What is this Ansible underscore distribution? We already checked that these are nothing but these are the facts actually, right? These are the facts. It means that these are the predefined facts which are already been there. It means that whenever Ansible it want to display or it want to make use of all these facts, actually it has to use internally a model binary setup model. So even as I said, like whenever you are running any playbook file, even the playbook file also will internally use the setup model to get all those Ansible facts, right? And we had covered some few examples, all right? Like we had covered all these condition statements, right? Like for example, equal to lesser than, greater than equal to, greater than lesser than equal to, all these different different conditionals. We have already checked. We have shown even in the examples also, and even we have covered and or also, right? Now, what is our next topic? What we'll cover now? We will continue with the Ansible condition only, Ansible condition with little advanced one actually, with advanced topics. Now, what we are going to cover with this actually. See, like for example, here what I'm doing, right? I'm trying to write a simple YAML file where I'm trying to install a particular package in this nodes. Like for example, in this node 1, I want to install the Apache 2 package. So I'm using this app model under the task, and I'm trying to check this condition whether Ansible underscore distribution is equal to Ubuntu. If this is true, then only this task should get executed, or else the task should not get executed if this is false, right? Now this is okay. Now suppose assume that I'm having the same setup. Okay. Now, so I'm having the same setup. I'm having an Ansible server here, and I'm having a node 1 and node 2. Okay. Now, what is my sorry? What is my requirement is that assume that I need to this is your Ansible server. This is your node 1 and node 2. This is node 2. Anyhow, we're not considering here node 2 because I don't have node 2, but just like we have these 2 nodes or 3 nodes or multiple nodes we have. And here assume that my condition is that actually under this node 1, I'm assuming that there is a file under the temp by name something like myfile.txt. Assume that there's a file with the name myfile.txt. So I need to, so it is just an assumption, guys. Actually, you might think that this file by name myfile under temp exists in this node 1, or it doesn't exist. So we don't know. We are just presuming, or we are just accepting or expecting that this file exists actually. Okay. Then what you have to do is you say that Rajesh, if this file exists, so it means that you have to do some condition. When if this file exists, then you need to write some content inside the file. Some content you need to write. You need to write some content inside the file myfile.txt. It means that here you're just checking the condition. You're using a condition where if this under the temp my file exists, then write some content inside a file. Assume that this file doesn't exist. There is no file with the name myfile.txt under temp. If this file doesn't exist, assume that, then what you have to do? You need to create a file. If the file doesn't exist, then create a new file. A new file with the name my file.txt. So this is our requirement. Okay. Here you could see that actually that whenever I'm using the Ansible facts, actually you are getting the information about this particular nodes information, like what is a server, what is a OS distribution, okay, and what is an IP address, IPv4, IPv6 IP addresses, what is a core, how many cores are there, how many RAM memory is there. You are trying to get all the information about the system itself or about the hardware, right, with help of a setup model or with help of a Ansible facts. But you don't have any variable or any kind of a Ansible facts where it will let you know about the file existence. Like here in this example, we could see that I'm saying that I'm just checking. Sorry, excuse me. So I'm just checking if the file exists or not. If this file exists, let me write some content. If the file doesn't exist, then create the file. This is what I'm looking for. So under that case, what happened that I don't have any kind of Ansible facts where I can predefine or where I can check those conditions of the file existing or not. That Ansible facts or setup model doesn't provide us. Then what you need to do under that state? So under that scenario, there is one model by name stack model, STA, stack model. So using the stack model, you can get the information regarding a file existence. Okay, fine. It means that okay, Rajesh, you said that okay, there is a model is there, stat. Okay, fine, I can do it. Fine, that's okay. But okay, you will get the existence. Okay, you'll get the existence. Then what you will do later with that? Okay, I need to use some condition to verify whether that stat model, whatever it is returning, it is true or false. If the stat model is returning a true, it means that file exists. If that stat model is returning something apart from the true, something false value, then it means that the file doesn't exist. In that case, in that way, what happened, right? I can actually verify the existence of the file. Yeah. So now, how to use the stat model? So, guys, in this example, what I'll be doing, right? I'll be using specifically some three important kind of a models I'll be using. One is a stat model I'll be using, and one is a register, and the last one is nothing but a debug model. So I'll be using these three models in these examples to just show you like how things works, right? When it comes to the conditions, where apart from this normal facts, you need to do some more. You need to check for some other conditions, how you can make use of it. For making that, you will be using these three models actually. So if you go to the Google, you can just say stat Ansible model like this. See, you'll get this is answer built-in stat model, or else you could see that stat retrieve a file or a file status, file system status. So this is the model I'll be using. Okay, it's taking time. Okay. Not sure why it is taking so long time. Or I can use this also. Ansible.builtin.stat model. Okay. Naresh, seems like the net is very slow, right?
No, sir, good only.
No, but it is clocking, right? Not sure. Maybe the site might be having some. Okay, fine. So guys, this is loading actually. Let it load actually. Okay, let it load. It is taking time. Yeah, I think see here first time you're getting this error. See the docs itself. This doc.answer. Now it is loaded. Yeah, there are some issue with the site only. I think that's the reason. See, stat model is there. Retrieve the state file or a status of that file system. Say that. Here, what happened? That the very important thing which I'll be using a parameter is nothing but the path parameter. Path parameter. I'll be doing it. So this is a very important one which I'll be doing. And if you see the examples, you could see that stat model path. I'm using a register here. I'll be telling you how to use this register, as well as I'm using some debug actually. Okay. So these three things I'll be showcasing today. Fail, MSG and all I'll be showcasing in next session actually. So right now, what I'm doing that I'll be using this mode as the stack mode. Okay. So now let me do one thing. Let me write a playbook file itself. So what I will do, like I will write a playbook file with the name something like register hyphen debug.yaml file. Anything, something with some name. Okay. So I'm using 3 hyphens. Name, which is used to demonstrate stack, register, and debug model. Just to show you how this model should be used, right? And I have to say hosts all. Okay. So here then I'll use a task. Two spaces. You have to use stack model hyphen stack model. Okay. Then you here after here give 2 spaces. 1, 2 path path. What's the path? Slash temp slash myfile.txt. That is what, right? My requirement is that I need to verify under this slash temp myfile exists or not. Now this path will return the information about the status. Okay. So whenever you want to like the output of any of the output of any of the mod, right? If you want to store it to some variable actually, then you have to use the register actually. So basically register model is used to store the output of any of the other models actually. Suppose you need to store here what you are trying to do stat, it is actually returning some statistical information, or it is returning the output actually. Whenever you want to store the output of the stat model, then you have to use a register model with some variable name actually. See, so what happened? Register model is basically used to store the output of any of the other models with some variable name. So that's what. So let me copy this. I'll write in a notepad actually. I'll just paste it over here. Okay. That's what. So what I'll be doing here, I'll be just saying like this. So see, whenever you're using register model, it should match with this model stack mode, right? It's wherever it starts with S, right? There the register should be register. Okay. Now what I will do, I have to give some variable name. So I can give any name actually. What I will do, like what happened? I can do something like does exist or does underscore or does exist like this. This is the variable name. Does exist. Okay, so the entire output of this stat, it is actually stored in this variable does exist with the help of this register model. That's what I have to do. So the output of the stats, this model, the whole output will be stored in a variable by name does exist with the help of a register model. Like that, you have to understand, right? Now, to display the output of this entire variable, you have to use a model by name debug. You have to say debug model. Okay, you have to use the variable name, something where is equal to specify this variable name does hyphen exist. That's all it is. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now here, I'm trying to just check whether this file exists or not. I'm just trying to see the output of this, the statistical information with the help of a debug model. So what I will do, I will come back to, I'll go to your node 1. First, let me check under the temp what I have. I have some few of the things. Let me remove everything. Sorry, let me remove everything. In the sorry, yeah, under the temp, yes, let me remove everything. So under temp, nothing is there. Let me create that file at the touch myfile.txt. So this file has, I have manually created this file now. Okay, under the node 1. So now what happened, right? I have already written, I have written this simple model. Let me do something, let me simple, sorry, playbook file. Let me copy this content and I'll go back, I'll go to the Ansible server. What I'll do here, guys, I will try to come out from this. I have to come out from this. I have to go to the conditions. So there, here, I'll do one thing. I'll just try to do the same name, register hyphen debug.yaml. So I'm basically using these two models. That's what I'm just giving this name, and I'm just pasting. Okay, so you should make sure that always here, guys. So the register should always start with where this stat is there, right here. So the intention should be proper, as well as the debug also. This is also one of the model, right? So I'm using where is equal to does exist. Perfect. The same variable name. Suppose here using the variable something like my var, something the same. My var like this. So it means that the whole output my var, the whole output actually of your stat, right? It is stored in this variable my var. So here, while displaying the whole content of the my var, you have to use debug is equal debug of var equals my var, like that you have to use. But anyway, I'm not using the variable by my var. I'm using something like does exist. I'll be using that variable itself. Does exist. So let me see the output. What the output we are going to get. I'll save this file, and I'll just say Ansible-label register dot debug dot yaml syntax. Check. Let me check the syntax if there's any something. Okay, the syntax is fine. Let me run this playbook. Okay, gathering the facts. Fatal error. Message register specify does exist. Invalid variable name. I think I have to use a simple variable name. I think the hyphen doesn't work actually. Okay, something like is exist actually. Is exist. Let me check if it is exist or does exist. I shouldn't have used under hyphen actually. Let me check if this variable exists. If we can use out this variable. Syntax check is correct. Let me run this playbook file. Yes, it is working now. So don't use that hyphen or underscore, guys. Okay, so like here, now you could see that the output of this is exist, right? You could see that it is able to get it, right? You are able to get so many the output of the whole stats model, right? Whatever we have used the stat model, the whole output of the stat model, you are able to display with the help of a debug model actually by using this variable var, and automatically debug value will print all the static information about the using the stat model by with the help of a with the help of a debug model, with the help of debug model, the debug model is printing all the output of the stats variable actually like this. Now, if you see over here, actually there are so many parameters are there here. There are so many parameters are there, right? You could see that a time, access time, okay, and you could see that the field is nothing but false. Yes. Now you could see that there is one more variable by name exist is true. It means that this specifies that actually that this file is actually existing in this file, in this path actually. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell that, so with this you can use the condition where you can now write a content into this file, my file.txt file. You can, so by using the condition you can write a content to the file. Now what you will do, now this is over file. Now what I will do, Rajesh, I will do one thing. I will try to use a copy model, hyphen copy model. I need to write some content inside a file. So you know that under the copy you have something known as a content actually. CONTENT, content. So what is the content? Something like welcome to Ansible. Something. So this is the content you want to write. Where you want to write it? The destination you want to DST. You need to write under the /temp/myfile.txt. Okay. When you are going to write, when you will write this, you are going to write when you have to use this condition when. Okay, not does actually. I have to use is exist, right? I have to change this. Is exist. Here also is exist. So here also I have to use same thing. Right here is exist of. So this is what is exist of what? Of stat is a module name here. Stat of, I'll be using this. You can use any one of this. You can use this, or I'll be using this. Exist, and what you have here is true z is equal to true. So it means that basically, so you are writing, you are trying to write this content that is into this file if this condition is matching actually. So how you are able to get this condition with the help of a stats model, and with the help of a debug, you are able to display the entire output of the stat model. Here I have used one of the variable to make sure that this is parameter, or you can say as a variable actually. Okay, and I'm using this one of the variable or the parameter just in the condition, that is with the help of when condition, to just to verify if this is matching, then only write this content inside this file. Okay guys, so now what I will do, I'll do now that anyhow I'll see that under this my.txt I don't have anything. Fine, nothing is there. Fine, I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this file. I'll copy this content, copy this, go back to my node 1. Okay, I'll do one thing. Let this be like this only. I'll go here in the other node. Okay, and I am in the condition only, right? Yes. So I'll open this register of debug. Let me recopy it again. Okay. So now I'll say this one. Now I can run this playbook file. Ansible-playbook register-debug.yaml. I'm able to run the. Now you could see that actually the fatal error, the conditional check is_exit.stat is equal to, it's failed actually. Right? Why it is failed? When, let us see guys. Is equal to true. Okay. Is exists dot stat, correct, and what is it here? Exist is true. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. I'll go here. Okay guys, here I did some small mistake actually. Is exist actually, this is a spelling mistake, right? Is exist dot stat of dot exist is equal to true. So same thing I need to do changes over here also. Is exists. So exists. Okay, this is some small mistake actually. Is exists. So like the spelling should be correct actually. So coming back here. So here I have corrected the changes. Now again I'll try to run this file. Now it should work fine. Right, so it could see that, so it is displaying this debug output, as well as you could see that it is trying to run this copy actually. So the copy, what you did, right, you're trying to write this content to this file actually. Now go back to the node 1 and just see, so is there anything written in this file? Yes, the content welcome to Ansible is written into this file. So in this way guys, you can use these conditions. Okay, so this is a very pretty simple example just to show you that how to use a conditions when you are using some other way where, you know, like you are not using any of the facts which is written by the setup model, right? In that case, you will be using this variable with help of a register and a debug. You are able to do it. Now you could see that if you see one more thing here, you could see that Rajesh, it is running this is all fine, correct, but actually what happened, I don't want to get this output, man. Why the debug is getting the output every time? We'll be keep getting this. I don't want it. No problem, you can go and you can comment this line actually. It is just for our reference, right? This is for our reference, so I just commented on. See, now I'll again run this. See, the stack model, see, copy is taken place. So copy, it means that again I already it's been copied. That's what it is not doing anything. But suppose if I go and if I remove the content actually, so I'm just emptying that file. So now nothing is there, right? Again, if I do a cat of my file .html, nothing is there. Let me run this playbook file again. Now it is copying it. See, it is being copied. Now again come back here, do a cat of my file. Now you could see the content. Welcome to Ansible has been copied. Right now, okay. So what I will do, I will add few more things now. Okay, like for example here you are saying if the file exists, guys, if the file exists, then what is happening that you are able to copy it. Actually, assume that I will go here and I'll remove this file only. I'll remove this file. Now nothing is there. Earlier I created this file manually. Now you could see that actually now this file doesn't exist. Actually, is exist or not? So it doesn't exist. So this will become false. You'll not be able to write anything to this file because there's no file exists. So let's see now. Let us rerun that again. Now the file doesn't exist. Let's see now what will happen. Right? It is skipping. Why? Because that file doesn't exist. Correct. Now you will say that Rajesh, okay, the file doesn't exist because you have manually went and removed the file, fine. But what I need to do it, I need to even write one more task where if this file doesn't exist, I know now the file doesn't exist. I know now I need to create a file actually. So what I will do that you will come here. So I'll write one more model. What is the model you use? You use a file model. Fine. What is it? U2 spaces create path. Okay, what is it? Path temp. Under temp, you need to create a file by name myfile.txt. Okay. Now, what is it? You have to use the state. So because you need to create a normal file, you have to use the state as a touch, right? And then here you have to use a when condition. What is when? When is exist at is equal to true actually. Copy this. Is equal to true actually. Okay, so here what happened, guys? Let me see. Let me do one thing. Let me remove this content. I don't want to copy it. Okay. So, okay, it is matching. Now let's see the output, guys. I want to see because now the file doesn't exist because based on the parameter, right? I need to just check actually. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to run this playbook again just to see. I want to see the output of the debug actually. So is exist. See here what is up in the state. It is exist is false actually. So I have to use the same condition here. If is exist stat of exist is equal to false. If it is equal to false, okay, then you create a file. So now what happened, right? When I'm running this playbook for the first time, what happened right here? Okay, this statistical information and this register debug, you know very well that you have got the output. Now the copy is trying to run the model, but here what happened? It is going to check the condition. It is equal to true. No, it is not true. It is not able to do anything. Now what happened? Now it is able to run this task for the file. Here what happened? Before it runs, it is checking this condition. Is exist stat of dot x is equal to false. Yes, is equal to false. This is true. Then it will try to create this file. Right now, we'll try to create the file. Now you could see, guys. So what I'll do, I'll just open the same file. So let me copy the same content, the whole content now again one more time. Copy it. Okay. So now I copied it. So now I'll just try to save this file. Now again I'll run this until now you could see that now here what happened, see the debug, it is skipping because the copy is skipping because the file doesn't exist, but you could see that the task file has been created. It means that it has created the file. You come over here in node and if you're already in the temp directory, do ls, you could see that this file has got created. So now what happened right now, the file has got created. Now if you rerun this again, this time what happened, this copy model will get executed. Why? Because right, this condition is true now. Right, whereas a file model will get skipped because this is not anymore true. This is not anymore false. It is true now, right? So now what happened? Again, I'll try to run the same playbook file. Now you could see that now the copying will take place. Now the copy module will get executed, whereas the file module will get skipped because already this file exists. Now you could see that it has been copied. Come over here. Now if you do a cat of myfile.txt, now you could see that the content has been written. So this is a very good example So just to show how exactly we can use the conditions actually. Okay, guys. So we will take one more example, then we will try to wind up this condition actually. Okay. So what is that example? Like for example, one more thing. What I will do, like I will try to use. This is something register debug. So let me rename this register debug one example. So write one more file. Name register hyphen debug 2.yaml. Okay. So now what I will do, the next example, one more example. Okay. I'll just say hyphen fn hyphen name. What is it? This is to check if the Apache 2 service is up or not. If not, then restart it. Okay. So it means that I'm just checking if the Apache service is up or not. If not, then restart it. That's what I'm doing here. Host on become yes. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll just write a task. Okay, task. Now what I will do, like I will use a simple like command model, like give two space hyphen command model. So what I'm doing, right? I'm just checking uh, instead of Apache, I can even check the Apache or any other service also. Let me check the Apache only. So what I will do that whenever the Apache is installed, right, guys? So how to check the status? I'll just say systemctl. What is it? Status Apache 2. Like this, I'll check the status if the Apache is running or not. Similarly, what happened, right? I can use the systemctl. Systemctl is active. I can use this also is active Apache 2 like this. So it says that it is active. It means that this Apache service is actually up and running. It is active, right? So I'll be using this command over there to just check actually. So okay. So what I'll be doing, I'll be using hyphen command. So command is a model. So I'll be executing this command systemctl. What is it? Is active Apache 2. Is active Apache 2. Now, what happens that the whole output, right? This output, right? This is the output actually, but I need to store that output. How to store that output? You know very well that I have to use some register model now. So what I have to do? I have to say register model. Register. How you have to do it? You have to store the register by using register model, but you have to store in some variable. You can use any variable, something like myvar. But since I'm getting some kind of a checking the report, right? Let me use a variable of the name report. Report is a variable. Okay. Now to display the whole content, actually, I need to use a debug model. So I'll be using hyphen debug model, where is equal to report. Same thing as whatever I did here. You could see that I'm just using stat model to check the status information about this file. So to get the whole output of the stat model, I am using the register variable, register model, and I'm using some variable name is exist. The whole output of the stat will be stored in this is exist variable. Now to display the content of this entire stuff from the variable node, I have to use the debug model. You have to always say debug colon space where is equal to and specify this variable name. Same thing like here, where is equal to specify this variable in report like this. Okay, let's see guys, let's execute this example and let's see it executes or not. I'll try to copy this content and come back to our Ansible server. Or else, yeah, I'll run it over here. Vi register under hyphen debug 2.yaml. It's the second example. Paste it. Okay, so this is I'm having. So let me save this file and run this example. Ansible hyphen playbook register hyphen debug 2.yaml. So I'm not checking the syntax. Now you could see that thing. Now you could see that you're getting a debug output, right? So what you're doing here, you could see you're getting the various output of it. So you could see that you're using the report, right? Report, right? And under the report, you could see that there are many other stuffs are there, but you could see one of the parameters, something as a RC is 0. Oh, it means that you are actually checking, okay, RC is 0. It means that actually that it is available. It is that service is available like that, because it is checking the output, because we already know at a front that this Apache is already running, or it is there, that service is already running. It means that Apache we have installed and it is running. That's what you are getting, the output is active, right? So I'm able to get it. So something I have to use some variable. I have to use some variable. So I'll be using this variable RC itself actually. Now what I'm doing, that you said, Rajesh, fine, this I got it. Now what is my condition is that actually you are, so I need to check this condition here, that, right? So I got the output. Now what I will do, that I need to restart the Apache again. To restart the Apache again, what you do, you use something on service model actually. You know very well that we have used the service model. You have to say, give here two spaces, 1, 2. Name. What is the name of the service name? Apache 2. Okay, what we need to do? The state is that I need to restart it. Restart it. So I need to restart it actually. Okay. When report, here it could come over here, when report dot RC is equal to 0. See, this is 0. It should match this value. If it is equal, if this condition is true, then this Apache will get restarted. If this condition is false, Apache will not get restarted. That's what we are doing here. So let's see that. Let me copy this. See here, come over here. Register debug.to YAML. Let me remove all this content. So I'll just paste the same stuff, whatever I copied it. Yes, I copied it. Now let me run this. Let me check if there is any syntax error. No. So I'll run this debug file. I could see that actually it is checking. Okay, it got it. Now see, it has restarted that service. It is restarted service. Now if you come over here and if you execute systemcpl status Apache 2, you could make out that it got recently got started. You could see that 12 minutes ago it got restarted. So in this way, this is also one of the example where with the help of a condition, I'm able to do some kind of a here in this example, I'm able to restart the service like that. So this is also one of the best way to show how to use the conditions here, right? So guys, so this is the end of our condition statements, right? Ansible conditions. So we will be moving across with the next topic now. Okay. So what is the next topic? What is our next agenda? We will be starting with the Ansible notify and handler. Okay. So it is getting run. You can run one again. You could see again that when you're running it again the same stuff, guys. Again, it will get restarted. It's not like that every time it will get restarted, right? Because this condition is getting passed actually. If this condition is getting failed, this service will get skipped. Assume that you are purposely you are making like this. Instead of RC 0, I'll make it as a 1. Now you know very well that is the condition is false, right? So now you could see that the service will get skipped here. See, the service is skipping here. And also, if you don't want to display always this debug message again, you can comment it out also. Come over here, and you can comment this line. No problem. You can comment it. Let me change this to 0. You can run this one. Now you won't get the debug message. See, the services again is restarted. So like this, guys. So this is a good example to show how to use these conditions, right? Okay. So that's all. So we have completed the conditions also. Now the next important topic is nothing but your Ansible notify, Ansible notify, and Ansible handlers. Very important. Now, so here, so what is our topic? Ansible notify and handlers. This is very important, guys. So many times we'll be using these handlers and all, the notify and the handlers heavily in our like playbook file whenever we are writing, right? A lot of times we'll be using this handler notify, uh, right? So to explain you, let me explain you to the diagrammatical format. Like for example, suppose you have this master node or Ansible control, configuration management or the server, and we have this node 1 and node 2 like this. Okay, node 1, node 2. Okay, this is the node 1 and this is the node 2. Node 2. And this is nothing but your Ansible server. Now, suppose assume that you have installed the Apache service. You know very well that in your previous examples, we have installed Apache, right? So we have installed the Apache. Now the stuff is that for the Apache, right, all the important configuration for the Apaches are always under etc Apache 2. Okay, under this path, there are many important configuration files. Like there is an apache2.conf is there, right? There is one more file by name ports.conf is there. There are many important configuration files are there. Like here, if you go here, sorry, if you go to the node 1, and here if you go to the etc Apache 2, you could see that there are many files are there, ports.conf, apache.conf, right? These are all important configuration files. Now assume that Rajesh, you say that Rajesh, if I go to the ports.conf file, assume that there is a variable by name listen and it is listening to the port 80. And you say that Rajesh, somehow I am actually changing this value from 80 to 8080. Here you are doing it manually. Now I'm just manually entering. Assume to the playbook file with the help of a line in file model, right? You are trying to change or you're trying to append a new new line into it by commenting this line or by deleting, and I'm appending a new line with line in file model by you are just adding listen 8080 like this you're adding. So it means that basically you did changes to the configuration file. So what I'm trying to tell that here, whenever here you are trying to do changes to the any of the configuration file of the Apache, either you do the changes for this etc what happened next? Suppose I'm changing this file etc Apache 2 Apache 2.conf file. You are just changing some parameter or some value inside this file. Now, as soon as you do the changes inside the file, or else if you are doing the changes to the etc Apache 2 port.conf file, you're doing changes. You can do changes to any of the file types actually. So whenever you're doing any changes to the files, to make it to effect, or it means that to reflect the changes whatever you did into this configuration file, basically you need to restart the Apache service. To restart the Apache service, you know that you will be using either this command systemctl restart Apache 2 like this, or else you can use even the service command service Apache 2 restart. Any of this command you can use to restart the Apache service. So it means that once a user does some changes to this configuration file, always you need to restart this Apache service, either using systemctl or either using the service command. So most of the time when we are writing in Ansible, we will always use the service model to restart any kind of a service. You know that very well. Now the thing is that actually, so whenever there is any configuration file is there, there has to be some kind of a notification should come, so that with the help of a notification, some particular handler has to get executed. In that handler, you need to mention it. Like for example, you say that Rajesh, somebody has to notify. So suppose this changes has been done actually by the user. The changes has been done. Okay. Here he has to write some kind of a notification. He has to write notification. He has to write, or he has to notify something. It means that he need to generate some kind of a notification actually. So with the help of the notification, okay, you need to take some particular action, or to the, okay, there are some changes that happen to the configuration file. Now what to do? So it is notified. Now what to do? What to do is please restart the service. Okay. So always notify how it works, but it notifies it. But what happened? The notification will be captured by a handler like this. So guys, there will be something like notify. So notify is a model which will be used actually, which will notify an event whenever you're doing any changes. Right, you have to notify it. Once the notify is happening, actually, that you need to do some particular action. You need to do some particular task. After doing that, an action will be taken care by the handler. That means that you know very well that Rajesh, whenever I do the changes, why I have to make sure that my some notification should happen and my handler should be called where the Apache restart should happen. Similarly, you'll say that Rajesh is suppose like there's a etc under etc there is a SSH and the SSD underscore conf file is there. This is also one of the important configuration file for the SSH service actually, right? You know that you will come over here and if you open this file vi etc ssh sssd underscore config. See, this is one of the important configuration for your file for your SSH. Now you say that Rajesh, some parameters have been changed here. Assume that this password authentication from yes to no it has been changed. So assume that I have changed from this yes to no, and I'll save this file. As soon as I save this file, or as soon as I'm doing some configuration changes to this SSH, immediately what happens? The systemctl or the systemctl restart SSH should happen. Like this, the restart of the service should happen actually. Right? Or else you say that Rajesh, fine Rajesh, I'm always waiting for some file to be there actually. If that file is there, some notification should happen so that the handler should write something inside the text inside that file. So as soon as the file comes into the picture or as soon as the file is getting created, then only write the content into the file. Otherwise, don't write it. So what happened? The handler will always be waiting for this notifier. Once this notifier generates an event, it is like a signal. It generates an event. So once it generates an event, that event will be further executed by the handlers actually. That's what I have to say. So we can understand very clearly with the help of an example. Okay. So let us write an example now. Okay, let us write an example. So what is an example? How to write using handlers? Okay. So let me write an example. So I'll do one thing, guys. So already there in here. So I'll write somewhere else here. So what is it? Handlers actually something. Notify hyphen handlers dot YAML file. Okay. So I'll try to push it here somewhere else. Okay. So notify handlers. So same stuff. I need to start with the 3 hyphens. Okay, then I'll say hyphen name. What I have to do? So this is to demonstrate notify and handlers. Okay. So now what is it? Hosts or so now what I have to do? I have to write a task. TSKs tasks. So now what I'll be doing here, guys, actually, I'll be trying to write some content in this SSD underscore config file actually. Okay, what is a content? So I need to edit or I need to add some content in the file. So how to do that? To add any content to the file actually, you need to use a module by name line in file. You know very well that we have used many times in the previous session. I have used this line in file. You can refer to the previous session to understand the line in file model. But again, you could see over here what I'm doing here. So after the task, you go two space 12 hyphen line in file model. Or else you can go here also and you can just say Ansible-doc line in file model. So if you open the line in file, what it says that model ensures that a particular line in a file or replacing an existing line. Or that whenever you want to do any modification to the file, either you want to add some content to the file, you want to remove content to the file, you can use the line in file model. So this is a very, very important model we will be using most of the time whenever we are writing a playbook file. And I have executed everything, few of the examples also in my previous sessions, right? So what I did, right? See, line in file, path, regex, line. So these are the parameters which you have to use whenever using line in file model, right? So I'll be using some of the parameters here. So what are the parameters I'll be using here? Line in file model. And the important parameter is that one is a path actually. Your tool space here, path. Now, what is a content? So I'll be editing a etc ssd underscore config file. Okay. What is a line you need to append? So I need to append a line. You know that here already in the node 1, I have created a user account by name Naresh, Mahesh and Suresh, right? So I'll be using the user account by name Naresh here. So what I'm doing that, I'll be adding something like deny users Naresh. So that I'm just adding this line content under this file. Okay. So I'm trying to do the changes into this file by using the line, by adding this line. It means that basically I have did some changes to this file. So what I have to do, guys, you need to notify it. So notify, notify. Notify. Here you need to give some variables. Actually, you can give some notification name. Actually, you can give any name. I can give XYZ or ABC 1, 2, 3, anything, but give some meaningful name. Something like I'm using something like a my handler 1, something my handler 1. Right now, what happened that this is a notification. Means that basically you are trying to call these notifications. This you are trying to call this handler actually. So now what you have to do that you have to do that. Okay, now you have to do that. You're calling this my handler. Okay, where is the my handler? Okay, so here you have to call this notification with the help of a handler. Handler should be same as your task actually. Like what are the task you have, right? This task, right? So the task, the same indentation. The handler should be called handlers. Actually. Handlers. Okay, give some space. Different name. What is so whatever the name you are using now, guys, here the same name here the name it should be. Here if I'm using an XYZ here, suppose here the handler name I'm using the XYZ or Rajesh here something. Here the name also you should give as a Rajesh. So because I'm using a my handler 1, let me use the same name, my handler 1. This is also my handler 1. So always, guys, whatever the name you are using, the same thing the name you have to use here. Now, after that, what you need to do, because you are appending or changing some content inside this file, or it means that you need to restart the SSS service. Okay, guys. To restart the SSS service, what I have to do? Oh, I have to use the service model. I know that very well. Service, give to space name. What is the service name? SSHD. State is restart. Like this. Okay. So it means that I am notifying it. Who will get finally executed? The handler will get executed. What the handler will do, it will try to verify. Okay, notify means how it will get to know I have to get called because you are using the same name. Whatever you are giving here, same name you are using. If this name is mismatched, right? So assume that you here you're using my handler 1, and here I'm just using my handler, right? So there's a mismatch in this. This handler, this will not never get executed. So the name should be same. The spelling should be correct here. My handler 1 means it should be my handler 1. So let us see, guys. Let me copy this content. Okay, and I will go over here in the server. So I'll come out from the conditions. I will write it here itself. Vi notify hyphen handler dot YAML file. Okay, so here I will try to run the Ansible hyphen playbook notify hyphen handler space. I can even do a syntax check actually. So the syntax is correct. Let me run this file. See, so you have called that handler, guys. See, the line has been changed, and because you changed the line, so the handler has been called actually, and it has restarted the SSD service. You go here, and if you check systemctl status SSSD, it has just started 18 minutes ago. It means that the service was restarted 18 minutes ago. Why it got restarted? Because under etc ssh SSSD underscore config, you have edited that line. If you come over here at the end, you could see that deny user Naresh. See, you have added this line, right? How you added this line? With the help of a line in file model, you have just appended this line at the end of the file. In this file, you have appended this line. So once you did the configuration change, immediately you are notifying it actually. So how you are notifying? You are calling some notification name. So this notification name inside you in the handler you are using it. So what the handler will do, it will try to restart whatever you have written here. So whatever the service you have written, that will get restarted. Here I'm using SSD service. The SSD service is getting restarted. So this is the best way of using the handlers, guys. Okay, it's not like that it should always be here. Here you could say that Rajesh, is there something many more other tasks can be there in between? So yeah, it can be there, sir. Like for example, you would say that Rajesh, okay, this is fine, Rajesh. It's not like that. I can I have some more? Like yeah, you can have something like copy mode also. Anything. So what I'm doing that 1 2 space src. So I'm trying to copy the etc password file, etc password file, the destination where I'm copying the template, whatever. So, but always make sure that this handler, whatever the handler which you are adding, right, it should be at the bottom of your YAML file. This should not be at the top of the YAML file. It should be bottom actually. Make sure that whenever you are writing any handlers, right, the handler should always be at the bottom. Okay, so this also you can run, because what happens, the line in file will get executed. This will also get executed, and even this handler will also get called, right? So let's see whether this is executed or not. This will definitely get executed. So come over here. I will open the same file, notify handler. I'll just try to add, or else let me, let me create one more file. Notify handler one.yaml file. So a small content, I'm just adding this one more task actually to copy it. That's all. Okay. The rest other are same guys actually. So I'm just calling only one handler, right? And save this. So notify handler one.yaml file. So here what is happening, guys? Line in file already it is getting executed. Okay. Only the copy mode is getting executed because already the change is already there. Here in this example, already this changes is already there. If this change is already there, line in file, nothing is doing actually. This model is nothing is doing. Then why it has to call unnecessarily call the handler? It will not call the notifier then. Then this will not get executed. If there is any changes is happening, then it will get executed. Like for example, you say that Rajesh, I want to run it again. No problem. What you will do that you will open it. So I don't think Binay user Naresh. I'll add one more thing. I'll add one more thing. Suresh. One more thing. Okay. So I'll read the changes now. So now save it. Now, line in file is getting changed, right? Copy is already copied it. See, it has called the handler now. Earlier, what happened? You could see that earlier the handler was never called because nothing was happening in this model. Line in file, nothing was doing. Here now, line in file is getting executed because you added some content. Now, once this is getting executed, it means that if there are changes are there, immediately it will notify it and it will be calling a particular notify with the help of some notifier name. It is getting calling. So once the notify is getting called, it means that some event has generated. Once the event has generated, a particular handler has to execute that event actually. So that handler you have written a code on what you need to do further. So in this case, we are just restarting the SSD service. That's all. Correct? Now, so that's how we are doing it actually. And you can have a multiple handlers also. It's not like that only one handler. For example, assume that you are say Rajesh, you are having a my handler. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me copy the same model or the same file, and let me have a notify one handler one dot or two dot YAML. I'll save this file or I'll save this content. Okay. So now what I will do that, Rajesh, I need to implement more than one handlers. No problem, sir. Can implement it. Okay. So Naresh, Suresh, Mahesh from 3, right? And then like what I will do here, I'll just try to 1 2 1 handler, one more handler. I will write this hyphen my handler 2. Okay. Now here what I will do that you have to say my handler 1, this you have written. Okay. Now again you have to write something like hyphen name. So guys, all these things should be within a handler only. Okay. You are writing one more name. Again, what is the second handler? It means that once this notification happens, here it is not only one handler, you are calling multiple handler. One more handler you are calling it. Okay, one more event notification you are executing. So all those handlers or event notification, notification will get executed by the handler itself. So, but here what happened? Since you are having two notifications, one notification is my handler 1, the second is my handler 2. For the my handler 1, you are having it. This. So this is a particular task has to get executed for this my handler 1. What about the my handler 2? For the my handler 2, you are writing one more task. My handler 2. My handler 2. Okay. Or else let me give one space actually. Okay, my handler 2. Okay. What you need to do here? Nothing, sir. I don't want to do restart anything. I need to basically install some package app. Okay. What is it? 1 2. I'll give name. What is the package I have to install? Tree package. Something, right? Tree and state is. But with that, it's not only that you will be writing a handler to restart some service or what. You can do anything. It can be the handler code can be anything. So that's what it is. Again, depend upon what you required. Once a particular notification is getting called, right? What in that particular handler, what you need to do, that action you need to know, right? Then you will be able to write it, right? So it means that here both these handlers will get called. This is also getting called where it will restart the SSL service, and this is also getting called. Here it is trying to install a package. So let me see. Let me go here in the node 1. So let me check. Okay. What I did here. Okay, I will remove these lines just to satisfy. Let me check if the tree package is there or not. So tree package is there, guys. So let me do one thing. Let me uninstall the tree package. Sudo apt. What is the command? Remove tree package. So I'm uninstalling the tree package. So let me see if the tree package is there now. The tree package is not there, so it is uninstalled. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll just copy this whole content. Okay, content, copy it. Go to your examples. Just say notify hyphen handler 2.yaml. Save this content. Okay, so just copied it and then just save it. So guys, here I'm calling two handlers. Just see how it executes, right? So what I do? Ansible hyphen playbook notify hyphen handler 2.yaml space hyphen syntax. Just checking the syntax. So syntax is correct. So let's try to execute this. So you could see now here. See, line file is getting executed. Copy mode is getting called. Handler 1 is getting called. Handler 2, see, it is trying to install the package here. See, already it has installed. The handler 2, what you're doing, you're calling an apt model to install the tree package. Now you see that tree package is installed. See, the tree package got installed. That's what tree is getting executed. Is it clear, guys? So in this way, you are able to execute the notification as well as the handler. So this is what the the information regarding the notification and the handler. Okay. So what we're going to do next is that actually we will be doing the next with the few of the other very simple or very important stuff. So we need to learn what we'll be doing in the next session. The next session we will be learning about Ansible tags, Ansible block rescue, RESCU, rescue, and always model, as well as we will be learning about Ansible, what do you call, Ansible Vault, yes, very important, as well as we will be learning about the Ansible roles. So from here it is very important, guys. Ansible roles, Ansible Jinja templating, Jinja 2 templating, as well as you have something as Ansible Galaxy. So these are all very, very important, like topics what we will be having in upcoming sessions. So these are the things. So in tomorrow's sessions, I'll be covering the Ansible tags, okay, Ansible block, rescue always, Ansible vault, and Ansible roles. We will be covering all these things. Hopefully, in the tomorrow's session, I will not be able to start the Ansible Jinja templating. I'll be doing it in the further upcoming classes. Okay. So one more is there. I think I missed it. Ansible tags. One more is there. What is it? Ansible. Very important which I missed it. Ignore underscore errors. This is very important. Guys. Though these are very, very small topics, it's just hardly 10 minutes topic, but like it plays a very vital role when you are writing any playbook file, because if you're using these tags or ignore errors and all, this will showcase that you are very smart in writing the playbook files. Okay, and even this also Ansible blocks, rescue, and always, right? This is also very important, guys. Actually, so these are the topics which we'll be covering, and these are all these are very, very highly important topics, because these are the topics where most of the intro questions will be asked. So we need to really concentrate on all these things. Of course, whatever we cover today, like notify handlers, this is also equally important, right? Even the conditions and all, whatever we discuss in today's session, everything is important. But this is what I could see, that some special cases where the people will, the interviewer will try to know that how much you know in details or in depth. So he will might ask you some questions related to tags or ignore errors and the block, rescue, and always, and vault also. Most of the time they'll be asking about the vault, or what is Ansible Vault? Have you used Ansible Vault in your project? Like that, they will ask you. So you should be able to tell all those things at the time. Okay. Of course, Ansible roles are very important, because nowadays, whenever you are working on Ansible, you will not write a playbook. Instead, you will write a Ansible roles actually. So Ansible roles will make a life easier for any Ansible developer or any Ansible DevOps engineer. Instead of writing a big playbook file, he will start writing in Ansible roles actually. That will make his life very easy actually. Okay. So we'll be seeing all these things, very important topics, in the next upcoming classes. Okay. So thank you, guys. Today I'll be just stopping today. So we'll continue tomorrow with tomorrow topic. Okay. Okay. Sure. Naresh, you can stop it.
Yeah.